Hi, my bright stars. You are listening to the Ruby Garney Show, and I am your host, Ruby, formerly called Miss Human Tarot. I changed the name because a lot of what I was doing on this channel didn't really resonate with the title, and it's so important for me to have things that match. It's so important for us as a whole that whatever we produce reflect our intentions and reflect who we are at our core and our centers. And overall, this channel is kind of a blend of all kinds of different things. You know, it's philosophy, it's spiritual insight, it's spiritual growth, it's about real stuff, real hard feelings, talking about suffering. Sometimes it's prayer work. Sometimes there are some channeled messages, and sometimes it is a hot mess. But I would like to think that things are always in the process of getting better for us. The way I see it, and I always constantly try to remind myself of this perspective constantly, is that God is looking from above us. He is paying attention. As a mother, I'm always paying attention to my little baby, and I'm recognizing that part of my job as his mom is to steer him away from things that would harm him and towards the things that will benefit him. And God, whether you believe God as the Christo humanity form, I don't know how you describe him, you know, like the one who is, Christian faith belief God, or as Loki, or as whoever you prescribe to, the divine source, the spirit is watching us, and they are trying to direct our attention towards things that will help us. And sometimes what they also do is they will steer us towards a situation, a circumstance that's a little better, a little safer, because something else is going to happen if you don't go that way. That's been my experience, where you're like, oh, this is not so great. Like this sucks. This hurts, but it led to something better. Like, I kid you not. Like, a lot of my life I've been steered one way or to another. And it's difficult. It's difficult having faith. It's difficult with, like you think about the reason why they describe God as the shepherd in the Christian faith is because they understood something very fundamental. And this is a fundamental key aspect of actually law of manifestation, is tuning into a inner voice, a inner guidance, and they allow themselves to be steered to go somewhere different. And there's a story about actually Abraham Hicks about something like this specifically, and they had played this cool game of kind of like follow your inner voice, and to find each other, to find the person. And they go, well, were you over there? And did you go there? And it's like, yeah, I was there, but you weren't there. And there's so many missed meetings. But they were following their inner voice. It wasn't a missed opportunity, or was just divine allowing them to play, because we as parents, like me as a parent, we also too are there to be our kids' playmates, but sometimes to just be there and witness their playing and enjoying them doing what they're doing. And it's funny, it's so delightful to see them grow and even to do these weird, goofy stuff. You're like, what are you doing? But it's delightful. And maybe the divine was watching Abraham Hicks and their friends doing these things and going, okay, were you over there? Were you over here? Oh, wait, I was there. Yeah, but you weren't there. And the divine's like going, whew, I love when they do this. This is so delightful. Oh my God, they're so cute how they're learning. They're learning so well. Oh, Esther's gonna get so good at this. And her friends, they're gonna be so good at this. I'm so proud of them for just keep trying and not giving up. And so spirit's rooting us on, but they're also too helping us. Sometimes they physically will, not for reals, but like as a metaphor, they will sometimes help support us. So when a baby's trying to stand, sometimes we will support the baby by holding their hands, and we'll the child will go where they want to go, and we hold their hands and they can stand. But then we might put them down, or we put them near things that they can help to support themselves. So God's like, okay, I'm going to help you support yourself so you can develop skills you need to support yourself better. So you can figure out how to do the standing thing on your own. And so they might lead us to good opportunities that we may not think are good opportunities, but they may be good opportunities. It is quite possible that the situation you found yourself in, that you are like, what was I thinking, is exactly what you need to learn how to stand emotionally, spiritually, financially. It could be. It really could be. This was your pep talk for the day. So we're going to go into some prayer work. In a previous episode, I talked about doing this, and I did a little bit of a practice session earlier. And prayer work for me is not like, dear God, can you do this for me? I do that. Don't worry, I do that. But it's more, I'm learning how to say what I want and telling Spirit, like, I want this. I do, like a Christmas list. This is what I want. I want this. So we are going to do that, but we're going to then do more of a affirmation style prayer work of sorts. And then a lot of it's going to be kind of like go with the flow and see how the prayer work occurs. Okay, let's take a deep breath first. God is here. God is all. God is light. God is bright. God is might. And He is a sight. At night, He says good night. My lovely spirits, my lovely souls, my lovely starlings, when you fly across and flitter across the sky, I see you and I am so proud of you. There is a Buddha tree that we have, that we place all your prayers, and we do get to them on a timely manner. It's just not on your time. We have made so many decisions and agreements with yourself and with your guides, and very much what we have agreed is fine. There's a line, a dotted line that must be signed. It's time for you to agree that you deserve better, and we need you to, when you're doing your prayer work, we need you to write out what you want specifically. And do not say, oh, but I can live without, I can do without, I could just, maybe I can just cut my budget and, I don't really need a phone. I'll make my old phone work out. Right? Starlings, that's not the point. It's not the point about what you can live without. We want you to tell us what you want. Be clear and set in your intentions as you do your prayer work. My lovely souls, this speaker will now give you an example of doing such a thing, audibly, of course, but she will tell you the things that are in her heart's desires that we are asking her to be clear and set with and not make compromises about. This speaker will have to be patient. This speaker will have to find a way of feeling good in the moment as she waits. So without further ado, the speaker will begin her prayer work. God. So we have had many different kind of conversations in the past, and you have been honest with me, and I am very grateful for your honesty. You have told me very often I need to have faith and a shit ton of patience, and thank you for that. I really do appreciate that. That's a blessing that you, Spirit, come through to me, and you leave me channeled messages both for myself and for others. I'm very grateful for that. I'll be honest, sometimes it's definitely necessary. I've been needing to hear your Spirit. I've been needing to hear you in what needs to come next. And I know I am delaying. I am procrastinating a little bit, to be honest, but I want a pilot car. I know they're horrible on gas mileage, but I want space. If I'm going on the general side, I want space. I want something that I can fit a lot of stuff in. I can go camping and go on adventures with. I also too want to have a surplus supply of funds, so I can do all the things that make me happy, that will allow me to, even after I pay all my bills, that I'll have leftovers, that I'll be able to treat other people well, that I can maybe do donations more frequently for other people again, like I used to, without blinking and like thinking, oh, look at that, lost money there. I want to be able to, I'm going to pause, guys, for a bit because I got to go in the house for a bit, but I'm going to continue for a little while, but the pause will happen soon. But I do want to have a house one day. I want to be able to afford a house. I want to be able to afford a house that can fit 2 to 3 children and maybe 2 to 3 animals, 2 dogs and 1 cat, or 1 dog and 2 cats who are a playmate for my dog, that adore my dog, and my dog adores back, and to have a yard that's fenced in, that my partner can create a beautiful garden if he so chose to do. I want to have surplus that we can have a healthy life balance, and we don't have to sacrifice family time or quality time with our children. Sorry about that. I am going to pause. 1414 came up, by the way. That was interesting. But we're going to continue it a little bit, and I am going to do basically the other kind of prayer work I do. Or I'm not kidding, 1212 popped up too when I came back in. Don't mind the background sounds. Just part of the experience. Have you ever done the ASMR? Part of the experience. Ha! But yeah, so basically when I'm talking to God, I'm trying to create more clear intentions. And sometimes that's really hard for us to admit out loud. So I'll try to do my best in being honest. It's like even like when I'm not saying it out loud on this thing, I am having a hard time being honest with myself. So don't worry if it's hard at first. It is actually. But what I want, God, if I'm being honest with you, I want to be a writer. I like the idea of channeling messages and doing well at that, like, you know, making money off that. I want to not have to work the mental health field work as much. I really want to be able to not have to worry about money. I want to make, like, money just flows naturally to me. I want that. There goes my boy. You hear that? That's my dog. He's going zoom, 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 zoom. It's so cute to watch. I love it, actually. Thinking of blessings. The next phase is focusing on our blessings. That's part of prayer work, too. God, I am deeply grateful for the roof over my head. I'm grateful for the silly, funny dog I have. I am very grateful for my partner, who is very supportive. I am very grateful I have a computer. I am very grateful that I was able to get this new job, which will provide me consistent hours and a lot of predictability that I did not have before. I am grateful for Kali for coming in and reminding me of, her remind me of change is important and change cannot be ignored. I am just so grateful that I've had so many positive experiences in my life, that I have this healthy baby boy who's full of love and light. I am so grateful that I have food on the table. I'm going to be honest with you. Prayer work, 12:22, by the way. We're in alignment, even though some of us are struggling. Like, this is the interesting part that I've noticed with prayer work and setting your intentions, doing gratitude. Like, I know it's like I'm trying to do it for you actively, and I'm having a hard time. I really am. And so I'm going to switch over to a different version. You're going to hear different versions of it. I'm going to give it multiple attempts, but I want you to have all these access to these episodes, because they are a process. And sometimes, like, I actually have to switch the process up to actually do it. And sometimes it takes a little finagling, and I have multiple ways of doing it. So sit tight, and we'll get part 2 out at some point.